Hi everyone, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Olivia and this is Imladris Knittery, and I've just been calling this Imladris Pod, and I basically just talk about yarn and knitting and all that fun stuff. So basically today it's probably going to be a shorter one, but I wanted to talk a little bit about black sheep gathering that I did a couple weeks ago, as well as give an update on some of my whips, and I have 2 FOs to show off. So I'll talk about my whips and FOs first, and then I'll give a timestamp for the black sheep. So yeah, first of all, I wanted to show off my new design that I finally finished. This is my Westfold Cap, and it is in testing right now, so if you're seeing this when it comes out, you're welcome to apply to test this. It's basically what you do is you knit a stripe, you knit the brim flat like a strip, and then with the cabling, and then what I did was I picked up stitches all around the brim after I sewed it together, and then just made a slouchy hat. And then what I did was I made like an I-cord and a tassel and attached them together, and yeah, that's my Westfold Cap. So this was a design that my husband sort of came up with. Like, he came up with the idea of having horizontal cables for the brim, and so I went off of that, and he said he wanted it slouchy, and I figured why not kind of have it be inspired by Lord of the Rings, Westfold. That's part of Rohan, and I'll just give a close-up of the yarn that he chose. This is Malabrigo Rios in glitter. It's not glittery, but it's a really, really nice brown color. So that's that. I'll put the link in the description for the testing form that you can fill out if you want, or if you just want more information about this pattern for when it comes out, you're more than welcome to. So the other FO that I have, I actually don't have it anymore because I gave it away, but I took some pictures. Those are up on my Instagram at Imladris Knittery, but I will go ahead and put up a picture here. It's basically, I made a Jacko cat, which is the pattern name, and it's like a little tiny cat in a little tiny pumpkin with a little tiny top to the pumpkin, and I gave it to a coworker. So I actually have one more of those to make for one of my friends, and then I also started making a, I don't know what it's called. I think it might just be called box cat or something, but it's a little kind of rectangular-ish cat that fits in a little box and his tail is coming out. So I started making that as well. But yeah, I will show off the rest of my whips. I'm trying not to have as much on the needles anymore. Because really what I'd like to do is just have maybe, I think, 3 things on the needles at one time. Like, I'd like to have 1 pair of socks that I can just take anywhere I want and fly through socks that way, and then I'd like to have a garment on the needles, usually like a shirt, sweater, of that kind of garment, and then like a wild card, basically, like if I want to make a shawl or just hat, anything else. But I'd like to, in general, limit it to those 3. Right now I'm doing pretty good, except for a couple whips that are my own designs that I'm making samples of. I've been really dragging my feet on those, just because I've been really in the mood for just mindless knitting and a few gift knits here and there. So my mind's been on finishing the Westfold Cap, because I just really wanted to finish that and get it out. And I'm about to finish a pair of socks, and I've also started another one, so I will just show those now. Here are the socks that I'm just about done with. So here's number 1 and number 2. Oh, and I dropped some. Anyways, I'm just at the toe for this one. Is a star toe, so there it is. I'm not too far through it, but it'll get done pretty quickly once I set my mind to it. My pinky's been hurting, so I haven't been knitting quite as much as I would like to, especially while we're watching Game of Thrones, but yeah, it doesn't matter how interesting something is on the screen, I still often like to have something in my hands. So it kind of sucks to not have that, but gotta take care of my hands. One thing I will note about these socks, so this pattern is the Diamond Heel Socks pattern by Always Be Kind yarn, and the yarn's also by her as well. You'll notice the heels look a little bit different. This one looks smaller, and I think it's because you have to do increases on the way here, do the heel turn, and then decreases, but I think I accidentally decreased every row instead of every other row. So luckily this one still fits. It's a little bit tighter than this one, but I'm not going back to fix that. I am going to go back and fix my shrimp sock and just redo most of that sock. Like, not the color work part, but the, I'll just grab it. Here's the first shrimp sock. It looks fine, but I don't know. At first I was enjoying doing the afterthought heel, and then, I'm just really not good at Kitchener stitch and like this kind of toe or heel. And I don't think it looks very good, so I'm just gonna undo this whole thing, the whole foot and the heel, and then from here I'll just do a regular heel and gusset, and then at the end here I'll probably do a star toe because I've discovered that that actually fits me really well. They're kind of little pointy feet. So I'm not too hurt about that. I just want these socks to be well fitting, and right now they're I mean, they fit okay. I just don't like how I finished them. Next, my new sock cast on. I'm using my By Pride yarn from Always Be Kind yarn, and I'm gonna do the diamond heel socks again. That might be my default pattern, I don't know. I'm gonna see how I feel about the heel and gusset now that I've really gotten into knitting socks, like for reals. But yeah, it's already starting to stripe, and I really like the bright colors on this. This is what it looks like in the skein. So I already knew I was getting into some bright colors, but it feels different seeing it all striped up, and I'm really enjoying that. I've never used self-striping yarn before, so this is a new adventure. Oh, and I got these stitch markers from Black Sheep Gathering. If I manage to find, or wait, no, here it is. These are from Little Hawk Yarns in Roseburg, Oregon. They were at Black Sheep. So those are the whips I'm working on right now. I have some stuff that I'm not actively working on at the moment. But if I make more progress, I'll put those in my next video probably or something. We'll see. I'm really trying not to put too much pressure on myself. If a project is just, I keep having to come back to it and keep putting it aside and coming back to it. So I'm just trying to be patient with myself. Yeah, Black Sheep. So Black Sheep was really fun. I ended up going on Sunday, which was a little bit slower, I guess, than the other days, which I kind of liked because I had time to just kind of chill with the folks at Always Be Kind Yarn. Yeah, I ended up just chilling at their booth for a while, and I walked around. I didn't end up getting as much footage as I was planning to, but I think most of that is just because I think, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a vlog, it'll be so much fun, and then when I'm actually in the moment, I'm way more focused on, you know, looking around and touching things and, you know, just being there. And so having a camera up, I felt really self-conscious, as well as talking to the camera. I did a little bit of that, so I'll show some clips here. just chilling at the Always Be Kind booth with my knitting and loads of yarn. Look at all that yarn. And chicken and minis. There's even a sale bin next to me that is someone else's. But yeah. The other sock is a sample. So I'm just working on this second sock. So yeah, not a whole lot, but I did get to give you guys an idea of what I was looking at. And the Always Be Kind yarn booth was seriously, I think, the most colorful booth there. And so I felt really privileged to be there with Laura and Arminda. And by the way, check out their podcast, Kindful Knits. They're awesome. I think they just posted a new episode like this week, earlier this week, I believe, or last week. Anyways, so yeah, I hung out with them. I had some lunch, and of course I bought a little bit of yarn, and Laura was also kind enough to give me a skein of yarn for helping her out, because I ended up helping. I didn't really do anything until the end when it was time to close down, and so I just really wanted to be helpful, and so I helped them take everything apart and haul it out to Laura's car and everything. And even though it was really hot, I just really enjoyed doing that. I like being helpful, especially when it comes to events and things like that, and especially when it comes to events related to what I'm passionate about. So I actually have my little pile of yarn here that I'll show you guys. But first of all, I'll show off this cowl. This is the Metaphorically Yours cowl by Needle Fox Arts that just recently got released, and you might recognize this as something that looks like something I made, because I made the orange one that was used as a sample and everything for the pattern. This is a sample that Arminda made. Arminda Kindful Knits made, and she ended up giving it to me because she said, I'm not gonna wear this. So I said, heck yeah, because I love this. It gives me Dark Side of the Moon vibes, and you can see this stitch detail here. I'm not quite sure what to call that, but looks like they were, I'm not sure, pulled up from previous rows. Anyways, yeah, I love it. So I'm definitely gonna be wearing this. So thank you, Arminda, if you're watching. Let's see. I believe this is the first yarn I picked up. This is by Sunny Day Fiber. It's a yarn dyer in Portland, Oregon, who came down for Black Sheep. And yeah, I think she had the other most colorful booth there by far. Her and Laura, most colorful booths. Maybe even both tied from number one. I don't know. They were incredible. So of course I was drawn to her sock sets. I'd never gotten a sock set before, so I was very excited to pick this up. Yeah, this is my favorite purchase, I think, was this sock set. So I mean, of course this is going to be a pair of socks. I'm not sure when I'm going to make them, but I mean, I will share them when I do. I'm sure they're going to be awesome. Oh, and the colorway is Neon Rainbow, if you are interested. Let's see. Another sock set that I picked up. This is actually from Always Be Kind Yarns June Kindness Club. Or Kindness Club, the June colorway, called Be Kind, because it's based on bees. So here it is up close. I got the variegated because I'm a variegated gal. And it also came with this little stitch marker. There it is. And it came with a sticker and like, I think flower seeds or something like that. Really sweet little extras. But yeah, I decided I'm gonna make this a pair of socks to gift to my grandma, and I'd love to try to figure out how to make them non-slip. That'd be a brand new thing. I never done that before, but yeah, I asked my grandma, have you ever gotten a pair of hand knit socks? And she seemed like, what? No, I just buy them And so I said, okay, what kind of colors do you like? Do you want some socks? And she said, sure. So when I described the bee yarn, she seemed like, oh, that's unusual. That sounds good. Make me some bee socks. So I'm going to make her some bee socks. And I'm really excited. So I think actually I'm going to make these right after I finish the By Pride socks, which the I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. The By Pride socks I'm going to try to finish by August 10th because that's when Pride is where I live. And I'd like to wear them to the Pride Festival here. I think I'll finish them in time. If I'm really focused, I can finish a pair of socks in like, well, I guess it depends. 3 weeks-ish. Anyways, yeah. These, I'm really excited to work with them. They also match, oh my gosh, they really match what I'm wearing. This is my mini mock neck tank. I'm probably going to make another one of these because I only used, just over 1 skein of yarn, and the next size I want to make is a small, because this is a medium, but the way my bust is in comparison to my body, it's taken me a minute to figure out how sizing works for me. And so I'm going to start going off my upper bust measurement instead of my full bust measurement, because the rest of my torso is a small, pretty much. So I'm going to try making a small. I'm going to try to use 1 skein of fingering and see how that goes. I'm not sure what color it's going to be. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll even be one of these. So this is the yarn that Laura gave me basically in exchange for helping with the booth. And this might be the last skein of fingering for this colorway. This is Nightmare Before Christmas Sally, based on her dress and everything. Ooh, so pretty. I'm obsessed. She has Nightmare Before Christmas colorways left, but they are not going to be made anymore, so go check them out. By the way, this is not an ad. I did not receive this yarn to give her advertising, and yet just go check out her yarn. So yeah, I'm not sure. This is probably going to be a pair of socks, or I could also make my mini mock neck tank with this. That is really tempting, actually. And then from the same collection, I actually bought this one from her. This is based on Zero the Ghost Dog. So you got, yeah, just pops of bright red and orange. Again, I'm not sure what these are going to be. Right now my default for fingering yarn is socks because I love making them so much. So this might be a pair of spooky socks, but anything could happen between now and by the time I'm ready to use this. So that's what I got, and yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else. I just wanted to kind of show off what's going on with me in my knitting. Like I said, I am slowing down a little bit because of my pain. Basically, like how I hold my needles, I will just show you if I can get this. So say I'm going to start knitting. The way that, I don't know, there we go. The way that I've been grabbing my yarn is with my pinky, and so I wrap it around my pinky, and I don't flick, I throw. So I just have it wrapped around my pinky, and then just take the yarn and knit. But I'm finding that the way that my fingers are like constantly like this, like grasping the needle or yarn or whatever, is starting to cause some problems. And I've actually started having this weird pain right about here in my arm. It'll happen a couple times in a row. It's like it'll hurt for a little bit and then go away, and then it'll do that again at some point, hurt. And it feels like someone with a really strong thumb is like pressing super hard against my bone or something. And it is very uncomfortable. So as soon as that started happening, I'm like, maybe I need to change something. So I thought I'm thinking maybe I might tape these fingers together and make some sort of like splints so that when I am knitting, you know, they're not forcing themselves to grip like that, even if they're not holding anything. Like even if I just use like these two fingers or something, these fingers still want to just it's very uncomfortable. So it's slowing me down, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully I'm not causing permanent damage. Sometimes I wish there was like a chunky boy option for knitting, or just I could even like get something to hold that is about that size so that my fingers have something to rest on while I knit. But yeah, that's a little disappointing, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I gotta change something, right? So yeah, one other thing I'd like to share before I sign off is that I started a blog, and I haven't said anything really because, or I think I might have mentioned it in a previous video, but I haven't shared it really because I just wanted to see if it's something that I enjoy doing. So I've made some posts, and just kind of have sat with it for maybe a month, just to see how I feel about doing that, how I feel about blogging and stuff. And I think I really like it. So I will go ahead and share the link below. It is, I believe it's Imladris. It might be Imladris-knittery at blogspot.com. Or I mean, yeah, .blogspot.com. I'll share the link down below if you want to read more about kind of like in-depth the things I'm doing, like especially with making my designs, and like I shared how I organize my knitting queue with Trello, which I could also make a video about if anyone's interested, because I'm a very organized person, but I also know that my brain tends to, if I'm not paying attention, just chaos. So that drive to be organized kind of fights with that drive, or that, I don't know what you would call it, just natural tendency to be a mess. So, and you can't see my room, my office right now, but it's covered in clothing because I just need to put them away. That's it. And I want to put them away, but then when I look at them, I'm like, I can't do it. Nope, there's no way. So anyways, yeah, so let me know if that's something you're interested in. I've also posted about my sock journey so far, which is pretty new. I mean, I've made a couple socks in past years, but this is definitely the most socks I've ever made in a year, and I don't see it stopping. So if you want to see more of that, yeah, come check it out. I don't make like huge big posts or anything, but it's fun. I like it. Yeah, I think that's everything. So actually there is one more thing that I want to show, and this was somewhat recent, but I ended up getting a new, what do you call it, yarn winder. I got a new yarn winder. Here it is. It's so beautiful. It's kind of annoying it's kind of annoying to put together, but once I did and I started winding some skeins, it just, oh my goodness. It's kind of wobbly because I'm holding it, but I just wanted to show you guys how smooth this is. You can barely hear it. A yarn winding ASMR. That might be a good idea, actually. I'm gonna keep that in mind because I have an ASMR worthy winder now. Yeah, anyway, so now that's everything, and again, thank you for checking out my channel, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.